Do you know that there are so many different accessible options when on a computer that you can use to help support your learning and your development? Today's video is going to be the start of a 4-week mini-series. I'm setting myself the goal to do a video every Sunday that focuses around accessibility options and settings on a computer. I'm using Mac. I am a Mac person, Apple all the way, but I will try the best that I can to also include the tips and tricks if you're a Windows user as well. This is something very new to me. Long form content is not it. The longest form content I've typically done is my podcast. But I'm giving this a go because I've had a lot of interactions over the last month especially of people telling me they didn't know you could do that, or I didn't know that was an option. I didn't know that was possible. So here we are. Let me know if you enjoy it, if the tips are useful. Hey, welcome to Kindling Minds with Cara. I'm an inclusive education and neurodiversity specialist, and I support young children, families, young adults, individuals with disabilities, you name it. I help build confidence and trust in your strengths. I also help to build confidence and connection and pathways into work, or learning, or just simple independence. On this channel, I share practical strategies, insights and support around neurodiversity, education, confidence, disability, and accessible learning. If this sounds helpful to you, you're in the right place. Welcome to my first mini-series on digital tools for accessibility within education. The age group that I am targeting here are specifically from second level, so P5, up to about third level, PS2, S3. These tips and tricks are going to help you to use technology to increase your ability to access your education in a safe and understandable way. They're going to be short, brief videos that break down a couple of steps each week. Hope you enjoy. We're going to start first and foremost with page colour. Now we're going to do this in Word just because if you're in school in Scotland, you've got access to Glow. I'm a teacher, I have access to Glow as well. So we're going to go through Microsoft just because it's the easiest application to look through. So if we're looking at changing background, now I personally wear coloured glasses. Some children have acetates. I used to use those, but I prefer my coloured glasses. But I don't always want to wear them, and I know so many children that feel so different with their coloured glasses on, so don't wear it. So this is me showing you how to change the background. So when you're on a document, the first thing I always do is go to layout and then margins and go down to narrow. Now for me, I find that that is a better situation on looking at a screen. I find when there's two big gaps at the top and at the sides, I struggle to process the information. I don't know why, everyone's different. So I go in before I do anything and change my margins. Then we're going to go over to the design tab. Now you'll see it brings up the themes, different headings, and then you get to colours. Now this is what you're going to choose. My glasses are a pinky purple, and Office has lots of different themes that they put through for you, rather than creating one yourself. Now I personally use red violet because it changes the colours that it shows me, but more importantly, changes the page colour. So if I click on page colour now that I've selected that theme, I've got all these different options, and I find that the reddy pink page in page colours, that very first one on the right hand side, that's the best colour background for me. Yours might be blue, like one of my clients. I've got another client who likes lighter blue and finds that easier. So shades can even be different. You can pretty much tailor it to any shade. Now, if you know your number, you can choose to do it through the sliders, and say I wanted to put a specific colour in, I can do that here. I'm not going to do that today, just because I work well with this colour. Okay, now we're back to the Home tab. Second thing is finding a font that works for you. There are a few fonts I use, and I'm going to show you. If I wanted to get a new font, I would go into my Chrome or Safari, whichever platform you're on. I would type in Google Fonts. Now it helps if it's on Chrome, but it doesn't have to be. You can download it straight to your dictionary font book. So when you're on Google Fonts, you can have a look. Now they've done a really good update recently where they have different feelings, appearances, calligraphy, different options that you can look at to see what works best for you. Now, if you have a font that you know you really get on with, you can type it straight in. Now, my go-to font for almost everything is Quicksand. So I can type in Quicksand as it's a Google font, and then I have the ability to download it. Now, as you can probably see, Quicksand has a good space between each of the letters, but the letters are also rounded. I really struggle personally with harsh, blocked text. That's just me. You might prefer it and have that as your preference. Something bolder. It's up to you. So I have this one. You click on it, click on Get Font, and then download all. Now I already have it downloaded, so I can now go straight back over to my documents. And then I am going to put in Quicksand. Now, if it's a font you've just downloaded, you might have to close Word and go back into it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But for easy access, you can just click on the type box up here in the corner and type in the name of your font, and then it will bring it up for you. Now, I do headings personally for me in semi-bold. So, title/heading. And then I hold down my command button and press E, and that aligns it in the center. And then I'm going to hold down the command button and the shift, and then the greater than arrow, and that does your size. Less than arrow, greater than. And that shortcut is nice and easy for you to use. And it's the same on all computers. The only difference is it's not the command key. I will put it up on the screen what the keys are for a Windows computer. Now I'm going to then command left, which is moving it back to the left. Command right puts you to the right side of the page. Now we're going to just do it on the left. So I've put my subtitles in medium, as you can see if I highlight it and hover over it, medium, and then my general text body I'm going to change to regular. There we go. As you can see, I've used simple formatting using bold, different size to help me with my document here. Next, we're going to look at some accessible tools. Now, I don't know about you, I absolutely love dictation. Now, I have a shortcut on my personal keyboard that I double click my function button. You can go into your settings and set it so that you start dictation given a certain key or prompt. So if I double click my function key, it will now dictate for me, and it's picking up everything I'm saying and putting it into full sentences for me. If I want a new paragraph, I would say full stop, new paragraph. And as you can see, it's put a full stop into the text beforehand and has given me a paragraph space, which is perfect. You can then, I just have to press it once to disable it. You can then go in, and if it's made a mistake, I can go in and edit it. So as you can see, it's a full stop. Hasn't picked it up quite perfectly. I do tend to stutter over my words, but that's okay. I just have to go back and check what I mean. Now, what's really beneficial about using Dictate is, as you can tell, I'm talking to you, and I might find that talking is the best way for me to get information out. So during school, say I had an essay to do, I would speak what I wanted to say, and as you can see on the screen, it's picking up every part that I'm saying, with very little grammar mistakes, but that's what our self-editing tools are for. We know that a full stop needs to go at the end of a sentence, capital letter at the start, capital letters for nouns, question marks if I pose a question. So all your writing tasks, all your writing tools that you've learned at school are helpful because you can then go in and edit your work. But as you can see, I've left on dictate as I've been talking to you via the camera. And as you can see, I've got a good paragraph of writing now. Imagine it was a story. Let's give it a go. So I'm going to take off everything I've got on the screen. And I am going to dictate a story for you. Random, nothing. It's probably just going to be a recap of my week. It's going to be an explanation text. I'm going to recap what I'm talking about, what I've been doing this week. So I'm going to start my dictate. This week has been a week full of ups and downs, full stop. At the start of the week, well, last weekend, I fell over and really hurt myself. Full stop. Because of this, comma, I have been bedbound almost all of the week for the last 5 days. Full stop. This has been incredibly challenging for me because I've not been able to get on with my work that I love to do or just be up and out of bed. Full stop. New paragraph. This week, I have achieved a lot though. I have been able to make a new updated business plan of where I want to take the business in 2026. Full stop. I've been able to book onto some events that are really exciting and I've been nominated for the Dumfries and Galloway Business Awards. Full stop. Now, as you can see, it's picked up most of what I've said. But I'm going to go in now, and as you can see, Word does this really great thing where it picks up for you. So red lines, spelling mistakes, blue lines, it means your grammar's not quite right. So you can go through. So as you can see at the end here, it says business or what. Now I said awards, so I can just change it. It's picked up Dumfries instead of Dumfries, but I just click on it once with the left click. If you are a Windows, I just tap my trackpad on my Mac and it comes up with some options and I just click it, sorted. Then I go back through all of the blue lines. Now, as I say, blue lines are incorrect grammar throughout a sentence. So you might have added extra words into your text because I was just talking, I was getting it out of my head. Now that happens quite frequently if you're dyslexic, the words that you're wanting to say come out wrong. Now, if you are a child in Scotland and you have access to your Glow, you've got a really brilliant tool right at your fingertips, and that's Copilot. So inside Microsoft Word, you'll find that since they've updated it on Glow, you get the Copilot pen, and it's a little star next to it. What you're going to do is highlight your text and then click on that pen, and you'll see some options that will appear through Copilot, through Copilot, Microsoft's AI software. Now, it gives me lots of different options. Auto rewrite, update, but keep formatting, structure and refine, writing suggestions, or visualize as a table. Or you could chat with Copilot if you're not sure. I'm going to type in, reword my paragraph to make grammatical sense. And then going to press enter, and it's going to create the draft for me. So what it's done here is you can see the dark grey has highlighted, is what I highlighted to be rewritten. And then underneath it, it has given me a different way of wording it that sounds more professional, but it's also grammatically correct. It's not half sentences with words over the place. It's still what I wanted to say, it's just made it better. Now, as you can see, you can keep it and it will redo it. You can replace it, which means it will put all of its text where yours was. Or you could redraft it, regenerate it, or bin it. So I want to keep it so I can see both. So what I said, this week I've achieved a lot through I have been able to make a new updated business plan of all where I want to take the business in 2026. I've been able to book into some events that are really exciting, and I've been nominated for Dumfries and Galloway Business Awards. Now, Copilot, their AI, has gone through my language and it's made some suggestions. So it now says, despite the challenges this week, I have accomplished a great deal. I have created an updated business plan outlining my goals for the business in 2026. Additionally, I have booked some exciting events and have been nominated for the Dumfries and Galloway Business Awards. Now that second one sounds so much better. So I'm just going to highlight it all over and press delete on the bit that I wrote originally. Now, if you're not sure how to set up accessibility in your settings in order to have a quick shortcut key like I have to dictate, that's no problem. If you see on the top banner in your Word document and in all of the Microsoft apps, you will have the option at the top to dictate. And all you have to do, click on it once, make sure your computer, phone, tablet, whatever you're on, whatever device you're on, you enable the microphone. And as you can see, it says listening. And it's starting to type it out through the Microsoft's version of Dictate. Full stop. For me personally, I prefer to use my Apple Dictate just because it picks it up a little bit better and faster. And I find with Microsoft Words one, as you can see, there's a delay in my words. So if I'm trying to think of the next part of my sentence, what I'm reading doesn't match up with the speed that's going through my brain. But you can change it. There is settings that you can go through and change. So don't worry about it. Then to stop dictating, you just go back up to the blue microphone and click it again. And as I said, if you want any settings, auto punctuation, sensitive phrases, pick your microphone and the language that you are. Now obviously I'm in the UK, so I have United Kingdom. That's because we have S's in our words rather than Z's. And if you don't change it, it will bring up the wrong spellings, which you don't want, especially if you're using it in school. And that's really easy to change. If you need to, down at the bottom where it says English United Kingdom. Now mine is set for United Kingdom, that's my location. But if you're in school and it's a shared device, it might automatically be the default, which is United States. In that case, as you can see, you go through the list, go to English, and then if it's in US, you just click on English UK and then press OK. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you is the navigation pane. Now, this is really useful if you're writing a story and it's got chapters, if you're on a PowerPoint and need keywords, or if you're creating a longer document, say you're in S2, S3 and you've got to write lots of information, like a report, a summary report. You might do it in science. Now, you can use the accessibility features, the headings up here, to organise your writing for you. So what I would do is I go into review. No, I wouldn't. I go into view. You click on the view tab and you'll see a bunch of different options up here. Now, immersive reader, that reads things back to you, but we're not going to do that today. Then you'll see here, ruler, grid lines, and navigation pane. I'm going to click on navigation pane. As you can see, it's brought it up at the side here. Now, these 4 icons at the top are just different ways of displaying it. But what I like to do is have it on the document map. Now, on a longer document, having a document map makes it easy to go to where you need to be. Okay, so I've opened up my dissertation back at uni. So as you can see, it's not in my preferred font. I had set things that I needed to do. Set font, set spacing, structure. But what I'm trying to show you here is this navigation pane at the side of the screen. Now you can see I can click on the arrows and make everything shorter, and therefore also make everything longer if I click on it again. Now what this is really useful for is if you have a contents page. So Microsoft Word's, one of their features is a contents page, and you can do this after you've written everything. Now as you can see, if I click on something, say my impact of dyslexia, I click on it and it takes me directly to where I talk about impact of dyslexia, which is here, okay? I could then go to the navigation pane at the side and go, oh, now I need to look at my ontology, fancy word. I can click on it and it takes me straight there. This helps you go through everything. So if you're in school and you need to take down authors' names, I can click on my references. Then I know I'm currently working on 2.2, so I can go into click back. And it's an easy way to go through and find your different bits of information. And to do this, all you need to do is use headings. So let's go back to our original document, and on the home tab at the top, where it says title / heading, I'm going to highlight it and put it as heading 1. And then my subtitles are going to be heading 2. Now, as you can see to the side of the screen, I've now got subtitles nestled underneath where it says title, which is perfect. Now, if I was 3 or 4 pages down, let's just copy all the information a couple of times. There we go. Each time I've implemented a heading, it gives it to me as a drop-down option. Thank you for watching this week's mini-series video. If this video has helped you in any way, you can subscribe for more support. I have my shorts, which are daily posts with tips and tricks, and I'm going to start creating more longer form content like this video today to help with practical ideas and encourage you to use technology to support your work. Remember, you're not alone in this. We all struggle with something. I hope this video has helped you even just a little bit. See you in the next video. Bye.